You should be able to see me in there, the red, orange, and yellow guy.
Yep.
So I have it set up to where the cold areas are blue and black. So black is going to be the coldest, white will be the warmest. So basically when I say I'm looking for those blue and black spots, there's always going to be blue and black spots in there. I want them to move or to take shape. And when I say take shape, I want a head, shoulders, moving arms, and legs. Like that's what we've caught in this guy in the past. And again, in the dead of summer. So take that for what it's worth. Yes, welcome to my world. You guys signed up for the weirdest tour in town. Welcome to it.
Can't wait.
So with this one, this isn't always a real-time catch. That's why you're going to get the full video back. The nice thing about the way I have it set up for you is when you get your video back, there's a blue dot bouncing around the screen that's showing you the coldest spot in the frame at that moment. I'm looking for 15 plus degree temperature drops. It's 79 degrees out here for us tonight. So I'm going to be looking for, 64 degrees and colder. So anything in that blue dot that I'll find at 64 degrees, you'll get a screenshot. And I'm like, this might be a possible anomaly if there was something else going on at that time. So the cool thing is obviously it records audio as well. So if there's any other EVPs in there, you can also use this as kind of an EVP audio, like I explained with the regular voice recorder. So yeah, nice slow movements. Again, people get weirded out. So basically, we're gonna like take 2 laps. We're gonna stick together as a team here because I mean you're all one family. Normally I tell everybody go spread out and have some fun. I'll bounce around with everybody, but we're all gonna work together to kind of see what's going on. So Ryan, what have you been hearing? Talk to us. So have you heard people talking at all? Like no DJs were talking or anything like that?
I've heard that, but it's shocking.
So you haven't been able to, like, even 1 or 2 words?
Like, I heard, 2 words. It was, doorway or, door.
Door and holes. Like dig a hole kind of hole?
Or bullets.
Or like bullet holes. So you heard the word holes. That's what I meant. I just wanted the reference. So I could see where he's going. He's thinking deaths. It's a bullet, not somebody's, kind of thing. But he heard the word doorway.
Blood?
Blood. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Don't be afraid, man. Like this is your night to have some fun too. I know it's history and it can be boring. But baseline's 25 at this point.
Oh, okay.
So again, you've given me a lot there. So he's sort of blood, doorway, and the hole. And of course with her word list.
So the blue is what you're looking for?
Cold spot.
Oh.
He wants it to move around though. That's the thing. So when I say move around, like we've literally, and I use several different types of cameras, like when I have my bigger groups obviously, we've had cold people literally walk right up to the camera and just kind of look at it for a second and then they're gone, and I can verify it with another camera that doesn't see things that way,
Right.
that they weren't there.
Huh.
Gauge. Gauge.
I don't know who that is or what that would refer to, because that's spelled like a name, not like
Spelled
you're
like a
gauging.
name.
Yeah, not like the measurement.
Mm-mm.
So, sorry, wordsmith. I
Yeah.
have to look at the spellings of things and like that. So let's kind of take 2 quick round robins on here. We'll stay away from the vehicles and just to see if we're going to get any more spikes on Melanie's device. I didn't get your guys' names mixed up because you were the only 2 I was worried about. All right, it's all about you, buddy. What are you hearing? And it should be. And it's as slow as I can make it. So Kathy, let me show you how to look at that word list. You hit the little white box to the right, and it'll show you everything you have so far. And it has the timestamp next to it. Just don't hit the red X's, it'll take it off the list. And then you just circle back. Okay? No singing, no anything like that? Just music. And I know being a videographer isn't the most exciting job, but
That's okay.
when you get the video back, it's a lot of fun to watch.
Another name? Wrong.
Or it could be the robbing from them gentlemen trying to steal the cash register from Big John's. Big John's is on the other side of that. Like, that's all one connected little plaza. But we are still close enough where I would call that bleed over. So even with Big John and Eliza are from 3 different centuries, we could have had Pinky Mansion things over there and Big John things over here. I call that bleed over. So it does happen.
I also heard 30
33. And now we have the name Rob engaged, and he has a number that could be a jersey number. So I don't know if that's going to match up or not. Do you see why I write everything down? I don't know everything. I'm not Google.
Runaway.
Runaway, that's the same thing you had.
We had run
Yeah.
on there earlier. Any other numbers popping up out of you? Nothing at all. It's so weird you had all that in the back.
Bend.
What is it?
Bend.
Yeah.
B-E-N-D.
Nothing on bend. Not bending any here. Yeah, keep that antenna in. Everybody wants to try to get more reception out of it. It's almost like you want to keep it minimal. It's just so you're not overloaded with it. Those are just motion lights. Every time our shadows get in play, it goes
Oh,
off.
okay.
I've tried to use these new motion lights as part of the investigation because they're relatively new to the space. And I was like, Eliza, that light over there is not on. I showed you how to turn it on, and I'll stand away and we'll film it for like 3 or 4 minutes to see if we can get her to turn it on. We've never had her turn anything on for us in the past. So I was like, yep, I'm gonna give up on that. It's a waste of time, at least that night.
She's not listening.
Yeah, 'cause it seems like he's struggling a little bit, so I might want to
Can I
have
help
you.
you, buddy?
Yeah.
Huh? Can I lift him with you?
Yeah, just give her an earbud. I want to kind of give her a minute so she can help you out. Because that's mainly where all of our communication is going to come from. This is why I set it up with earbuds, so that way people can help each other.
I've died. Hold it up here.
If you think it's funny, it might actually mean something. It doesn't, but you get my point.
Need a switch? No, right now. Oh, 45.8.
That's exciting.
You just have to read out the numbers when they get higher than what he told you. So I had a baseline of 20 and I just had 45.8.
Yeah, so anything higher than 25. We're only going to be here another minute before I give you guys all the answers, because there's not many of us. 25. I think Melanie's all about like, oh, I can actually do something a little extra now.
She's an overachiever.
It is hard to hear what they're.
So when I get called to a team, this is why they call me, because of this. The spirit boxes are my expertise. Like I can use any type of spirit box at any speed and get anything out of it.
So even though it went up high, you don't see any cold spots.
Nope.
15.
The number 15? Okay. Now we're on to something. Doesn't mean anything to me, but you heard something relevant. Any other words, Miss Kathy?
Do you want to trade,
You're
Ryan?
still on bend.
Okay.
Okay. And no other number since that 45?
So you have to tell him when the number. He'll tell you the baseline number.
25. So we'll give Mom just a minute, and then I'm going to give you guys all the answers. So you're not left hanging in the dark. Oh, well, yes, Eliza, we are being friendly tonight. Thank you for noticing. I get a lot of teenagers that, let me put it this way. This was a space I was going to retire because, again, we're talking about a prominent English woman, and I was getting very disrespectful, let's just go out for giggles kind of thing. And they're, come on, Eliza, let's go and do this, you know, and it's very disrespectful in that manner. And we were getting some nasty messages that were not radio chatter coming through the white noise. So I actually took a break from the space for a few weeks and switched up the route. And, you know, it was a slower part of the year, so I was like, let me switch it up. And then I came back and said my piece. Like you asked me to ask things out loud. I stop here every night before I go meet with you to tell her how many people I'm bringing. It's just kind of the piece that I made with her. So I do it every single night. And I will sit usually on that little curve over there. I will sit on that curve over there. And I will just kind of talk to her for a minute, saying my piece, like, hey, I have these for you. And I will normally, because I keep your guys' names written down, when you guys book through TripAdvisor, I get all of your names that way, and I rattle them off so she knows who to expect. It's just kind of a respect factor. I've been coming here for a long time. I want to keep it going. So again, I don't like getting those nasty messages because we are talking about somebody that's so important to Charleston. I don't want to disrespect her in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So, Melanie's in tune now. Check her out. She's focused.
That's fascinating.
You got anything before I start revealing answers? And you can continue to listen because I know you just got it.
It's just hard to, it's
Uh-huh.
bits and pieces, like it's not full words.
Nope. All right, let's go right back to where we started. So, Mike, you can go ahead and throw your video if you want.
Yep.
His name was Ralph Isaacs. I stop on Ralph because he has the same initials as where the doctor came from. Rhode Island, Ralph Isaacs. We were getting the letters RI, kind of like you had YMCA, all the time on these spirit boxes. So I bought a brand new device that acts like a digital Ouija board. It has the alphabet on there, all the way through the alley on your own by using the voice recorder on your phone and listening to it later. Just keep in mind, every local knows the story. Anybody walking up and down the alley, everybody throws a whistle. I do it every night, just so you know. And I can't take you all the way through here because I've actually been kicked out of here. We're going to get to that here in just a minute. Because that's actually the funny part of the story. But back to Ralph and the doctor. They go see plays together, but they can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. He just gets better seats. That's the hierarchy that was back then. So they go see Richard III one night, and they're arguing over the new actress on the way home. Dr. Ladd thought she was great. Ralph didn't. Ralph then starts insulting the doctor's fiance back home in Rhode Island. It gets very ugly. They go their separate ways. So Ralph has friends at the newspaper as well. He goes and puts an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. Kind of you're a disgrace to society. Slap, slap with a glove, right? That kind of mentality. Doctor saw the ad, but rebutted with, let's just go to Dueler's Alley. Let's settle this once and for all. Keep in mind, this whole argument started over an actress in a play. So they came down, they took their 10 paces away, they turned, the doctor pointed his gun in the air and shot. He didn't want to kill his friend. He just wanted to have the courage and bravery to show up. But Ralph has his one bullet in his flintlock, and he puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. Dr. Ladd didn't die, but he drops to the ground. His friend picked him up, took him home to 59 Church Street, where he dies 10 days later. By the way, that was November 2nd of 1786, and he refused medical treatment during those 10 days after the gunshot wound. Reason being, it's 1786. Gunshot wounds are a lot different than they are today. He was probably just trying to bleed out the lead poisoning from the bullet, so kind of keep that in mind. Again, every ghost story tells you to listen for those whistles. Other people say listen for gunshots. I don't have any inkling from any gunshots or any kind of noise like that from all of the audio pieces. But I will tell you that the word whistle has shown up along with the word doctor while we've been in here on spirit boxes, and that includes the word list. We've had whistling parts of songs show up, then something medicinal, if that makes sense. So we kind of had that little clue that he was here. It's kind of a stretch when you do it that way until you have the word whistle and doctor. That's when I'm good. Those are solid pieces. Here's how I got booted out of here, and this will also show you how I kind of put all these clues together of how all of this stuff works. The alley itself didn't always go all the way through this way. It was cut off about halfway between where we're standing and Cumberland Street. There was a wall there. That's because this is where they kept the livestock for the city of Charleston. This was called Cow Alley before it was called Dueler's Alley. So that means the bricks on the other side are sun-dried bricks. They're older than the ones we're standing on. The sun-dried bricks were made by slave children. There is a full handprint from a slave child at the end of the alley. And I used to take my groups through here, went all the way down to the end when I first started doing this to show off the history, because we all need to see how far we've come away from slavery, right? So I treat that brick the same way I do a grave. That kid's not there. That's the last place you're going to find him. November 26th of 2020, my entire group of 10 is huddled around one brick waiting for something to happen. I know it's not going to happen. I'm trying to shoo them along. I'm also trying to be respectful for the kitchen window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. I was trying to be respectful to the home, not knowing I was out of bounds. The new owner of the mansion came out screaming. My daughter thought it was great because she was on the tour that night and her dad's getting yelled at, so she thought it was awesome. We moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. I don't work on Thanksgiving simply because I worked for retail management of Walmart for over 10 years in higher management. Now you know why I don't do Thanksgiving. The next day was November 28th. The dates are relevant. I'm getting to it. I called my partner that I had at the time, learning about tourism, because I got out of retail, and I told him what happened. What was it? Desperate. Yeah, that would have been a desperate call to him. But anyway, he told me you can only go down halfway, or you can reroute the group. That's the boundaries of where we're allowed to go. So I decided I'm going to reroute my group. But what I told that team that night was, I don't even believe in the next story. Tickets were much cheaper back then, by the way, when I first started doing this, and I was winging it. I'm a vampire guy, not a pirate person. I already told you we're doing pirates next. Before we left, somebody heard the name Anne on the spirit box. So I was like, okay. I didn't tell them which pirate we're going to be investigating. The famous female pirate Anne Bonny. So I was kind of like, all right. We get up there. I told what little bit I did know about piracy. Somebody else with the spirit box, here's the number 300. I don't know what it means. I write it down. I do the research. We were there November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy, November 28th of 1720. Nothing is a coincidence with me ever. So, you guys are like, oh, that's pretty cool. I went, damn it. Here's the reason why. I have a master's degree in creative writing. Even when I'm writing fiction, I want facts and data to be able to base things on. Pirate stories come from pirate lore. That's a big issue for me. I'm out every night. She's like, yeah, but the bag's empty. I'm like, it's 80 to 90 degrees down there. All right, so every...
Lie.
That's interesting. Could be lie down as well. There's different ways of lie. But everybody's here whenever tours come through here. They're all talking about that little building over there with the crosses on it. I like to bring it to the back because you can see, like, does it say Nick? Doesn't get any better than that. So, first off, I'll just reveal it now. This will normally show up in one of three ways, which my name being part of it. Obviously, I would be number one. I already kind of revealed we're going to be discussing Anne Bonny and her pirate trial. Her judge was Nicholas Laws. On the other side of the building we're about to discuss, the Powder Magazine, is the Nicholas Trott House. One of three ways. Nicholas Trott was our first Chief Justice of the United States. So, yeah, comes up all the time. So, I'm excited that we actually have it in print. Normally we get it out of the Audible News. I told you, like, his word list tonight, we hear one of those priors, like, it's been really fruitful for us tonight. I'm actually really excited about that. But yeah, I'm stoked. So this is me, like, super stoked, like my heart racing. You guys can't see it, but it is. But anyway, we're here because of that little tiny building over there with the crosses on it. I come back here just so we stay out of everybody's way because we are going to spread out in the lot, but get close to the building. Those are not crosses on the building. Those are earthquake bolts. So if you've never taken another tour in Charleston, an earthquake bolt is basically a turnbuckle. So if you tighten it after an earthquake, it'll tighten the building so it doesn't incur any further damage. It's a great idea, it just doesn't work. Californians laugh their tails off at me every time I tell this piece of history because they're
There's
like,
third California in here.
no such thing as coincidence. But
99.
no, don't do that. So sometimes things go awry. I'm going to still tell her pirate history, but if she has something else that pops up at that number 99, I have to tell a secondary story. There's like 15 stories on this point. Like, there's a lot. Every ghost story goes somewhere here. And you guys have probably heard the other story that pertains to the number 99. If you've taken another ghost story here, it's the 4. Because every ghost story ends with that story. So, we'll see what happens. 99. So, I'm excited about it, but not, because that just means I have to talk more. But anyway, the Powder Magazine was being built at the same time that Anne Bonny was coming here to start a new life, which is why we're here. A lot different than what you thought you signed up for.
It is.
And again, the nice thing is I'm not flooding you with all these little tiny pieces of history
Exactly.
and documents, and and I get a lot of teenagers and kids dressed up as a Ghostbuster and want to go
course.
with their proton pack and get ready to go. But I do change this every year. I take out one and add a new one. Next year's, I'm still here. My wife is getting ready to go to vet school, so we may have to go to New Orleans.
Oh, nice.
Unfortunately, poor me.
Invested.
I like
Not that
investing.
much different, though.
Well, it's actually going to be a little bit more welcoming for a guy like me.
Yeah.
Witchcraft and voodoo down there
Yeah.
a lot more versus
Born
the
and raised in
Holy City.
Louisiana, so that's
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I've never been there, so
Yeah.
it's going to be new and exciting.
friendly place.
We're going to be in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans.
Okay.
So I've already just been kind of looking at, like, because she's going to be down there for 4 years, obviously,
Right.
going to vet school. So it's going to be like, she'll be going to Baton Rouge for school, I'll be going to New Orleans for work.
Awesome.
So I'm pretty stoked.
Good
Like,
food.
We don't eat out. We're home eaters for sure. We're too busy to eat out.
There.
Like, I mean, obviously I finished my education already. Like, I'm done.
Yep.
And I pushed her to go further. So
Good for her.
and she's disabled, so it's a
Yeah.
matter of like keep going.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
Elliot?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm gonna find out because we are next to a cemetery. Every once in a while, one of those creepers come over.
I got Supreme Court, personal powers,
Supreme Court is good. We just talked about 2.
DQ.
Supreme Court, Elliot. 99. I'm just glad you're not getting more things relevant to the other story. So, what do you do?
I'm retired.
Oh, well, that's not a doing anything.
I know. That's
What did you do?
I was CEO of an energy company in Houston.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, before this, office, I was retail management, man.
Yeah.
Like managing 400 employees that were miserable.
Lovely stuff, yeah.
Like I can't do this anymore. Like Walmart wasn't using my degrees. I mean,
Right.
they're all in writing, you know. So between the blog, the podcast, writing books, keeping up with what's going on here, like
Right.
I'm at my office all the time. Like if I'm not touring, which is obviously the breadwinner,
But you're doing something you like.
I don't answer to anybody but you smiling.
Yeah, there you go.
Like,
I like it.
That's the whole thing. Like I don't answer to anybody. I gotta tell the lady that we're gonna have bugs.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like, that's my biggest concern. I love it. How we doing over there?
Marriage was fun.
Marriage? Any numbers at all, Kathy?
I mean, I got 2, but that was it. That was not, and I think it's sober.
That was not a pirate term. I like Elliot for some reason. I don't know why that's sticking out.
No, I get 2.7. What were your questions about the ghost? Oh, her parents' names.
What was the highest one you had?
2.7.
The city she was born in Ireland.
No, it's gone.
The Jack ship.
Ghosts don't stand still.
Wait, was that what the name of one of his parents?
Hey, Wisp 5. We're not gonna-
2.7.
Again, is it staying at 2.7?
No.
Well, Ellie, one of the names of their parents?
No. I'm going to look into the cemetery records to see if there's an Elliot with a first or a last name to see if there's anything creeping over. It's not relative to the 99 story that I was telling you about.
I got 3.4.
So you're getting closer to the street. So you're going to have things from the parking meters. Okay, so we can kind of debunk that right off the top. See, don't make stuff up and people love it.
There you go. I like it.
Right, keep thinking. I thought for sure he was going to be the star of the show with that thing.
No.
Some people get it, some people don't. It's not an easy task.
There's a rhythm to it.
So most of the TV shows will put it on its fastest level because they want mainly white guys.
Between.
Yeah, well, it'll go so fast you won't be able to make out the DJs in the song lyrics and all of that. It may pause from time to time to give you one, but really what they're getting are sounds and grumbles that they can't make out. When I get a disembodied voice that's not radio chatter, when it's that slow, I can count to see how many radio frequencies it went over. So when I told you I was getting nasty messages at the Cookie Mansion site, please just leave us alone. 13 radios. That is not a DJ frequency. So you can see where like that can get, like I want to give them a break. So I go there and just pound them for questions every single night. And then somebody disrespectful shows up. What do you got on there, Ryan? Anything crazy?
No.
Again, chaos again? The reason why is they don't want jerks like me with crazy cameras trying to recreate what actually happened. Here's what went down. 1888, a young lady dies by the name of Sue Howard Hardy. At times, when I have that little Ouija board device coming out, we get to her initials, which are Sue Howard Hardy. Shh. It's cheesy, it's campy, but we've seen it and we've heard it. But anyway, Sue dies 6 days after her stillborn child. It's a very sad story. But in 1987, a local photographer is taking pictures of all of our cemeteries, putting a book together. He captures a full apparition in a photograph. It's 1987. He doesn't have the same tech that we have now. He sends it to Kodak. I normally have to explain to kids what the hell Kodak is. They think it's a bear. But anyway, Kodak confirms of what type of camera it came from and that the picture has not been altered. So, the picture is said to be cursed. Excuse me. So, with that curse is part of the reason why I stopped telling the story unless we get clues to it. So the 99 is because the photographer took the picture 99 years after her death. Like to the day. It was like June 16th, I believe it was, of 1888 that she passed away. But at any rate, I'm going to show you the picture. Just don't touch my tablet. The curse is to females, if you're handling it, even in a digital format, like you're touching it, it's on your phone, it is said to give you the same symptoms like what we talked about at the beginning. So headache, nausea, dizziness. So in the events that I will give you the link to this particular story, it will say warning cursed photo, which means do not open it on your phone or tablet. Open it on a PC, on a computer, so that way you're not physically holding it. If if that makes sense. And you're looking at me like I have 3 heads, but this is what I do for a living. I'm not going to have you guys go home. Well, the other part of the curse is if the female that handles it is pregnant, they're not going to have a good pregnancy. I'm not going to be the guy that where somebody had a great vacation and 9 months later I ruined your family. Like, I'm not that person. So let's look at this photo so you can see. And normally with guys like me that study this stuff, if you like go to the top 50 apparitions ever caught on a photograph, this is usually in that top 50. So your full photograph is right here. Your apparition is right here. You're looking at her back of her shoulders. Yep. She's praying over her own grave with the baby basket next to her.
Oh.
So you can kind of see like where this would be a big deal. Kodak wasn't able to debunk what was going on here. So again, that kind of gives you some legitimacy of like why every ghost tour goes over there, because they have something to show. So I don't always tell the story. I let them have it. I'm going after Ann Bonnie. Let's do this. So the next location, we're actually going to keep it the same way we've been doing it, the way we normally investigate. Normally that is a much further, deeper experiment, like a sensory deprivation experiment, where actually the person with the spirit box would be blindfolded and not know the history of the space. And basically they would rattle off everything they're hearing while we ask you questions as if you were the ghost. We're not going to go that far tonight. So again, you're looking again with the 3 heads, like holy cow, like what is this guy into? Some people actually sign up to come see me because they call this the Estes method, because I will perform the Estes method in a legitimately haunted location. We can still make contact with the methods that we're using, which is exactly how we're going to do it tonight. So again, that'll be our last stop. It is about 2 blocks from here, 2.5 blocks. We're going to be walking by the circular church. If you wanted to take pictures in the middle of the night, there is said to be a Civil War ghost there. I've never caught anything. If you want to try to get footage, I mean, we're a nice bunker. Is that what it said? Nice. I like it. I've never caught anything there with all of the cameras that I have, and I've gone there several times because it's pretty close to my office. Like, I've gone there after I've done with the data with one of my cameras and just kind of sat there, just waited, see if something's going to walk by. Like, what, because some tours will tour through the cemetery because that's their catch, their gimmick. I wait till they're gone, and I go over there at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and just put my camera up on the fence post and wait, see if I get anything. I've tested it several times. I get nothing. So again, I'm here till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I go home because I live like an hour in. So I have an office at home, and I just started coming to an office down here. It makes things so much easier. Plus, you guys get all your data back before you even wake up. That's the beauty of it. So, and Ryan's bored to death because I've been talking for 15 minutes. So let's get him back to work. Do you want to switch up a device with anybody? Yeah, you good with that one? Okay. He just got. He just got quiet on it.
You're tired.
Yeah. Well, you guys are on vacation, so. All right. What did it say? I just got. Oh, man. His bag. It's like I just grabbed my bag. We're going to walk to the front of the Powder magazine, and you'll see that little plaque for the Nicholas Trot House. What's going on, buddy?
Excuse us, guys. We're gonna pause on the street side. Thank you.
How's it go, man? Nicholas Trot only stayed for a brief time while his house was being reconstructed for Dock Street Theater since. Obviously, Dock Street Theater has all of its own history, so they had to commemorate Trot somewhere else, so they did it here.
Bike.
So,
Bike.
I think I know too many little nuances about Charles. Because I listen to like too many podcasts, reading too many books and articles.
place?
Oh, my office is right across the street from it.
There it is.
Yeah, I've come here in the middle of the night with one of my cameras, kind of just sat for a minute, see what we get. I also like to come over here with a spirit box because there's another Pinckney that's buried in here. And I've been looking into his life, and he's buried right over here. So I'm trying to keep an eye on that area because we'll get clues to him while we're at the powder magazine. Like, why is he creeping through? Again, I'm always looking to change things up a little bit, but I don't usually stop here. But I figured, you know what?
Why
Nice
not?
small group. What was it?
Click.
But yeah, the cemetery actually goes all the way around. You can see it. The tours, there's some tours that actually have access to go in there. So they'll like pay them a patronage or something.
Depends on.
Five. So, this one is very quick and simple. It's not a 10-minute ordeal where I'm going to talk to you for 10 minutes, because this is the new space of the year. You're doing the exact right thing. We want to get footage in here. We've had EMF spikes in here, Kathy, just so you know, all the way up to 167. That's been the highest we've ever seen, but we will get some EMFs to explore the space. But this location, we're in Washington Park. So when I say I change it up, I literally just pick a random space where I know other tours may go and kind of see what goes on there, and then I keep going until I find a hit. First time I came here, there was only 2 people. It was a cold night. It was November. I wait till Halloween and then start researching once that's over. So the 2 people, one was using a spirit box like Melanie. She heard 2 things as soon as we walked in: the year 1828 and the name Henry. I was using the word generator that Ryan's using. I had the name Tim that showed up. Behind me is a bust of Henry Timrod, born in 1828. So it was kind of a, all right, well, there's my ghost. That one's easy. So, the quick story on his life, you guys want to know everything. Normally I kind of get the feel because people that are going to be blindfolded, they're normally sitting on the bench. I don't want them to know anything. That way they're not biased to what they're about to tell us. So, yeah, keep an eye on that word this time. Especially when I have a teenager that isn't getting it, they're like, all I hear is the static. I don't hear any static. Well, don't listen to the static. Listen to the voices. It's Bumblebee. I like the names pop up that I don't know what they mean. There's a lot of monuments in here, so I don't know what all of them are. I know most of them. Normally I would ask them if they're still alive. It's kind of question. personally. But Mike, he keeps getting like chilly words. Like he's had the word chill, cool, and cold. So we're hoping that there's going to be something on that film you're making.
Yeah.
5 and Jeffrey.
Found anything?
No, I haven't.
I found a bunch of things.
Shit, you're getting a bunch of words.
Mike, anything going on?
No, nothing I can see.
Gosh darn it, Mike, I'm going to have to fire you.
I know.
After something.
Whenever I was over there, it's gone.
Walk back over there, see if you get some more words.
Yeah, I'll see it. No one is not here much either, so I'm wondering if there's anything going on.
5 again.
Except for that number 5.
I've heard it like 5 or 6 times.
Let Ryan do his quick little round. And wrap this up.
Oh, over there right away. Every time I walk by there, I get worse.
You should actually have a little bit by this plant over here. These are the same style that are
Any longer.
Look at what they've done.